Recently, I've been seeing more and more discussion online about location scouting and the struggle of finding unique but also isolated locations for photography and filmmaking. I will admit that I've struggled with this in the past, but have developed some techniques that allow me to find locations that are otherwise overlooked. So today, I'll be sharing 5 points of my best advice for finding better locations, and I'll be taking you along with me on my hike today while I talk about it.
A lot of people get their travel ideas online. And in fact, you might have a goal of sharing what you visit online so other people can see and be inspired. And the best way to do that is not to show places that have already been seen over and over again, popular destinations, but to go to places that are lesser known and bring them to light and showcase them. A great way to find the places less seen is just to stop using social media to find locations. So get off Instagram, get off Facebook, get off Reddit, and start looking for more niche websites and forums that give you more information about a place rather than just pictures about a place. For instance, I use websites such as the World Waterfall Database and AllTrails to find unique places and trails to get to them, and I cross-reference those two websites among other websites and forums that tell me about the best hiking routes and just the best ways to get there that also provide the best views. So, in short, my first tip for you is just don't use social media, look for more specific websites. If you're looking for a waterfall, use the World Waterfall Database. If you're looking for just some fun trails, look at AllTrails and you can find and browse trails in certain areas. For today's example, I used a website that tells me the locations of historic fire towers. And I cross-referenced a fire tower I knew the location of with trails on AllTrails, and today I'm hiking to a fire tower at the top of this mountain. But AllTrails show me that along the way there are some cool overlooks and spots to visit, such as that cool suspension bridge at the beginning and the overlook I'm about to pass along the way to the tower. This method of cross-examining helps me to find unique locations, and I'm thankful for it because otherwise I would not have found out about this trail that takes me to the tower, and I would have had a much more boring hike. Alright, be careful. It's got the battery grip on there, so. That's so scary. Whew.
My next tip is to look for locations that are located adjacent to popular places, but usually don't get as much attention. For example, a few months back, I was filming a short film called In Search of Color, and the whole premise of that was to go out and look for color. And the spot I chose for the finale of the film was Shenandoah National Park, which, if you don't know, gets extremely crowded and very popular in the fall. And rightly so, it's a beautiful place and the fall foliage there was amazing, but I really struggled to find a location that I could get the place to myself so I didn't look like an idiot while I was filming. I mean, I do look like an idiot, but you get the point. No one saw me looking like an idiot while I was filming. That's what I wanted, and I did some searching and I actually found a really cool location that was located directly between two of the most popular peaks in the entire park, and it had similar views, and when I went there, I had the place to myself. It was awesome, and I was able to film the final scene of that short film, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I took a chance, but it turned out really awesome. So use that knowledge to your advantage. Next time you're looking for a spot, try maybe looking around more popular locations and finding locations adjacent to those. You might find incredible views and maybe even get the place to yourself.
Basically be on the other side.
That sounded like it hurt. Yeah, it smells horrible up here. There's a bird's nest in here, and it smells so bad. So bad. But the view is great. Despite this being a 60-foot tower, you can still see a great view. One of the best tips I can give to you is to get in touch with locals. I cannot stress enough how important and valuable it is to have contact with people that live in the area of where you're going to. They will almost always be able to tell you where the hidden gems are, and hey, you might even have a buddy to go along with you on your next trip. I'm especially thankful for my grandparents who live in New York, who are always willing to share new and cool locations with me every time I visit them up there. And my grandfather and I have gone on lots of expeditions to cool places like waterfalls and hiking trails up in New York, and every time we go it's spectacular and we have a great time. They're also huge supporters of this channel, and I have to give them a shout out because they're awesome and they're always so happy to have me and so willing to take me on some awesome trips. If you make connections with local photographers and videographers, they'll probably be able to tell you a little bit more about locations. This past summer I actually reached out to fellow filmmaker Wesley, who lives down in Florida, and he has a channel where he makes lots of filmmaking tutorials, so you should check him out. But he was super happy to send over a bunch of locations that I should check out when I went to Florida. Unfortunately, I didn't really have the time in my trip to go and check out these places, but next time I'm down there, I certainly will. So you should definitely check out his channel, link in the description of this video. Special thanks goes out to him as well. But yes, get in contact with locals and you won't regret it. I have a few more tips to share with you all, but I have to do it at the next location. So let's finish up this hike and get a move on to the next location. Another tip I have for you is to just get out and drive. Now, as the time of this video, it's not exactly cheap to go out and drive and look for locations, but if you have the ability to, it's definitely worth the effort and probably the money. A lot of the spots that I found because I was just driving around, going to other locations, and found out about them. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go back there sometime and check that out. So I mark it down and I come back later. And I've done that for quite a few spots, and there is another way to do it without driving. If you have Google Maps, you can go on there and you can use Street View to go around locations and look for cool spots. Spots that might not exactly be named on the map, but spots that you can place a pin down and mark as something you want to visit. I've actually done this quite a lot, and if you look at my Google Maps pins, the entire east coast of the United States is filled up with saved locations that I want to visit. It's kind of obsessive, and a majority of them are fire towers. But I digress. The good thing about all of that is that now, whenever I'm in a location, there are typically 5 to 10 saved locations within a 2 to 3 hour radius that I can visit, sometimes even closer. Like if I'm in a city and I want to go to the mountains near the city, depending on the locations, I might have a ton of different places I can visit. So it really does depend on the location, but
I've done enough location scouting, primarily in the mountains, because that's where I like to be, that whenever I'm in a particular mountainy area, I have plenty of spots to visit. But yeah, that's my driving tip. We're about to arrive at the next location, so I'll give you my final tip there.
My last piece of advice for you today is to be willing to take chances with your location scouting. Sometimes things will look great and you'll find awesome locations, but sometimes it won't. But that's just life. But in addition to that, I also raised this suggestion. If you're trying to find unique locations, you can also find unique weather conditions. Maybe going out super early in the morning to try and catch a beautiful sunrise or a cloud inversion, or go out in the rain to deter tourists from going to attractions so that you can have a place to yourself. A lot of the times doing those things means that you are taking a chance. Take this place, for example. Yes, I am at another fire tower. It's a different one. I may or may not be obsessed, but that's beside the point. The reason I'm even able to come to this tower specifically is because about a year ago I reached out to the owner of the tower, and he gave me permission to come out, and last summer, almost about a year ago, I came out here and shot my short film, Escape. And that was one of my favorite short films I've made to date. It was extremely challenging and a lot of fun to make at the same time, and if I had never sent that message to the owner of the land, I would have never been able to come here, and keep coming here to this day, to just see the beautiful scenery and film that short film. Had I not filmed that short film, my filmmaking skills likely would not be where they are today. This is my 4th time now coming to this tower, and it does not get old. The view is always amazing. And I'm super thankful that I got in touch with the owner of this tower so that I can come here and check it out. Special thanks goes out to him. He's a legend. But yeah, that's really all I have to say as far as my tips for location scouting goes. I really appreciate you watching, especially to the end here, and if you've watched this far and you've enjoyed the video, you know what buttons to press. I really appreciate your support, and I figured it would be great to close out this video with a brilliant sunset here at the fire tower. So come along with me, let's check out the view. Alright, that's good.
This video is not sponsored by All Trails by no means.
We're not sponsored by All Trails.
If you do, please sponsor us.
Yeah, no, low-key, I'm up for it. But sponsor Aiden Robbins first. He keeps plugging y'all all the time, and you never give him the sponsorship.